Hey, how's it going? So for today's lab, we were told to find two apps, either one that's really good and one that's bad, or two that are really successful and how they differ. Me and Blake, we decided to go ahead and use Pinterest, which he's holding and going to be demonstrating Pinterest, and I'm using Stellar. Don't know if you guys can really see that. It's really, really bright. But we'll go ahead and we'll follow through with you guys. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to briefly explain what each of the apps do.
Pinterest is basically you follow a few pages, they post their pictures, and then they get pinned to your home page. The problem is there are a bunch of random posts that maybe you don't want to see, or maybe from pages that you don't follow, and they're also not very even. Like, they're shorter on one side than the other ones, and it's two to a side rather than just having one continuous scrolling of all of your pins. You can send messages, you can follow people that you actually know and other pages. Basically just what you're interested in. You pin your interests.
And mine's similar. I turned down the brightness so you can see it a little bit better. But as you can see with my main category, everything's even. All the pictures start and stop at the exact same spot for that front page. But instead of just showing you a bunch of pins like Pinterest does, this shows you different categories, like in subcategories. So like there might be a subcategory that you'd be really interested that you could find instead of just seeing, you know, a bunch of different random pictures. And then when you go into it, you know, both of ours are very similar in the same way that it's a tab view. To actually like navigate through at the bottom. So, and we're showing you one's iOS and one's Android, and the design's really clear. So the user experience is going to be really similar. And from us looking through the apps and actually testing them out and playing with it a little bit, we've kind of come up that the apps are made for, you know, that stay-at-home mom, you know, a person who, you know, likes to, you know, I guess, in a way, scrapbook or collect stuff, because that's all it really seems to be is one big collection.
The two apps are very similar. It's just Pinterest is more for the baby boomer generation, whereas the other one is for the millennials, basically. It's more of a cleaner app rather than a just pins all over your front screen.
And so the things that make them different are, like Blake said, you know, they were created for two different generations. The design's a little bit different with both of them, but they both basically do the same thing. They both are very successful. I know Pinterest has been around for the past few years. I know my wife personally uses it and other family members. And what's cool is Stellar, because even though it's so close, it's still won App of the Year for 2014 by Apple. So it was ranked, you know, the top app to have, which is kind of neat because I didn't even really know about it until today. So, like, the fact that something can be the greatest, but yet you don't hear any news coverage for it. And the reason I think that it's suited to target that audience is because of the main categories they have. You know, so the categories pretty much are like featured, places, food and drinks, go explore, you know, creativity, style, animals, things like that. And I think they're similar on Pinterest too, right?
Yeah, definitely on Pinterest. A lot of recipes are on Pinterest, so like food is the predominant thing on here.
Okay.
They have a very long list. It's a table view just filled with a lot of things that could be grouped together. And Stellar does a good job at grouping them.
And then, let's say, like, I wouldn't say that I had a bad experience using this. This is an app that if, you know, that's something that I was into, I would definitely use. Like, even coming from a neutral standpoint, if, you know, no expectations or would I use this, you know, in real life or not, like, yeah, I could see myself, you know, I'd probably use it with friends, or if I was, you know, going on a trip, or, you know, I cooked a lot more than I do, and, you know, we weren't in class, you know, during the times we eat dinner and stuff, but, you know, I could definitely see it as looking for, you know, a place that I would want to maybe go visit. You could find pictures of, you know, what that place looks like to see if it inspires you. But overall, I would say, like with Stellar, that I'm pretty happy. with the user experience. It's really easy to navigate through. It's lightning fast. I don't have any lag time. What do you think about Pinterest, Blake?
Pinterest is pretty safe. Like I haven't had any errors. Sometimes it's kind of slow for loading images, but that could just be my data. Um, but overall, like I would use this app if I was into it, like the things that are on here. I also don't cook much, and I don't use social media very much.
Awesome. Well, that's all we have to say about those two. So we appreciate it and take care.